Well, what a match that was between the Sharks and the Warriors. The Sharks doing pretty well with the bat. They must be happy with that total, 177. And what a T20 knock that was by Luke Benkenstein. Mardan Warriors in return could not get there. And of course, the Sharks bowler, especially Saad Masood, didn't leave them much chance to chase that. And in the end, the Sharks won the match by a good margin, 77 runs. Well, we're done with the league stage of the tournament and now we're ready for the knockoffs. I have Sana Mir and Dominic Cork here with me. A lot of action still ahead of us, but let's talk about what we just witnessed. That day, this night pretty much belonged to the Gwadar Sharks.
And the dangerous thing is they still didn't play their best cricket on the whole 20 overs of the batting. They could have easily went on to make 200 runs and then a bowling performance like that. So they are the team to beat, definitely. Outstanding batting from Luke Benkenstein.
Yeah.
And then bowling, the seam bowler Mohammad Ismail, he was brilliant, and then Saad Masood came in.
Yeah, simply the Sharks are the team to beat. I think when you look at them, the Sharks are definitely the team to beat. The Warriors, look, they won the toss, so they had it in their favour to try and restrict the Sharks. They didn't. They'll have to go back to the drawing board. They'll have another chance to get through and maybe play a couple of games to get through to the final. But the Sharks, to me, look favourites to win this competition.
Right. And they are, as are the other teams, but even the Sharks are heavily banking on that top order. And when that top order is done, they're pretty much exposed, especially in the death over. So that seems to be a recurring problem with the teams.
It is, yeah, and I think that's not just the Sharks, that's every team. But what I was impressed with today was Luke Benkenstein. And why I was impressed with him is because I think, you know, he even agrees with himself that he's got himself out in silly ways. Throughout this tournament, he's got off to a good start. He's got 10s and 20s, but he's not gone on. Here, he's gone on. It's like maybe the chat with Viv Richards, talking about being sensible, backing himself for his shots, not trying to invent a new shot, play his way. Very similar to his father, Dale Benkenstein, the way that he's very much square of the wicket. He's a very humble man. I like him. I think he's a one for the future, and I'm sure England will have him on his radar going into the future.
And just one thing I would like to add, the interview he did, the way he was praising his own teammate and sharing a trophy. I mean, this all shows the kind of character a player is made of. So really impressed by him.
And that really tells you a lot about the beauty of PJL. You know, these players from across the world coming and sharing the dressing room with their counterparts from Pakistan. And then, you know, that interaction at the ceremony was quite wholesome to see.
Absolutely. You know, and that's what really impressed me as well. And it impressed me for a lot of reasons. The reason why we gave Luke Benkenstein the player of the match is because we believed at that stage he made the difference. But the man that he wanted to share it with, Saad Masood, got 5 wickets. You know, 5 wickets in a 2020 game. Wow. You're the spinner. Talk us through it. What was it like?
I think he bowled brilliantly. He used the dew factor to his advantage. He knew there was dew, so he made the batters go onto the back foot. The length was as such, only a couple of batters got out on the front foot. Otherwise, he made sure that the batters went onto the back foot. He used the googly really well. The length, and best part was the length, and it was within the stumps. Some of them kept low, some of them were all right, but overall the channel in which he bowled and the length he chose was brilliant.
Roa, what we've seen is, as you've said, the league is done now and dusted. But what's exciting about what's to come, because we've seen some exciting young players already.
Yeah.
We can see where the Sharks have finished. We've seen why they are top of the table. What we've seen, even down to the Hunters, there is so much talent, both domestically and internationally. I'm really excited.
Well, they have 8 points now, so they're sitting at the top of that table and will be playing the Royals in the first qualifier that happens on Tuesday. So, Sana, we're pretty packed for this week. A lot of exciting action now because they're all fighting for that final spot.
That will be a big clash. The Gwadar Sharks and the Bhavalpur Royals, they are the best 2 teams of the competition from day one. I think they have played brilliant cricket. So I think it's going to be a cracker of a game. And then, of course, Rawalpindi Raiders and Mardan Warriors. We saw a very close game between these two as well. So it's going to be a very good couple of days of cricket.
We're all set up for the one on the bottom as well, the final. Who is going to be in the final? You asked us about 2 or 3 days ago our tips for it. I think the Sharks will win this competition, because I just think I look at the mentor and I think, wow, Viv Richards, he would give me inspiration. So let's see who's at the end. There's still a lot of games to go, and still, you know, a lot of young men to make their future.
Well, Sir Viv will certainly be a happy man tonight. He was pretty pleased with how they batted, and of course, just talking to him is so inspirational. So I'm sure the Sharks camp will be very pleased tonight. And that's all we have for you from tonight. Thanks, Anna and Dom, for joining me.
Thanks,
My dream
Roha.
team. And we all set for the playoffs action that starts on Tuesday. Do not forget to tune in, because the PJL has just only begun. We will see you on Tuesday. Until then, it's a goodbye.